Good morning, traders. Excited to have you guys here today. Going to be doing a recap today. My little man here, when I put him down, he starts screaming, so I'm just going to save y'all's ears for today. We're going to do a recap over the trades we took, go over some trades we took from our pre-market analysis as well, some we missed. So let's get straight into it, guys. The first trade I ended up taking today, ended up cutting that one. Solid day overall. I'm going to pull up all my charts here for you guys. HOG ended up cutting that one. That was a 2% risk on that trade. And then I traded NAT and AMKR. So ended up trading 3 tickers. Traded 4 times. Was 3 out of 4 today. So ended up not being too bad. I'm learning to be comfortable being uncomfortable, if that makes any sense at all. Learning that, learning your emotions, journaling that, figuring out why your emotions are doing what they're doing while you're in a trade. My emotions are telling me to keep adding to this loser. It's going to work out. Well, guess what? You look back at your charts, you see your losses, and you see, okay, my emotions are telling me this now. This is what they were telling me then. Probably not a good idea. And then you go over charts where you said, I need to get out. This one's working really well. And then you always are hindsight trading and looking back and saying, wow, look how much further that one went. I could have made so much more money if I would have just held. And so that's what my emotions are telling me. Kevin, lock in profits, you have them. No, Kevin, I know when my emotions telling me that I need to hold it a little bit longer. Actually ended up capping a winner a little bit early even today, NAT. NAT here was pretty much my big winner today. Traded both sides of it, took the short and the long of it on both sides of the trade, and really happy about that. That used to be my dream, just being able to be on both sides of the trade and be green on both sides. Absolutely love it. So my first trade was HOG. Ended up cutting that one. Had the 2% risk right off of my hotkeys. If you guys haven't watched that video, go watch it. It's the hotkeys, the secret hotkeys that I talk about. No one else talks about that. 2% risk. I just let that one cut itself out. Didn't really want to fight today. And that's what happens. You can fight, or I can just let my training wheels do what they do for me. So they can just cut it, I move on to the next one. And it really eliminates me from the picture. So I say, okay, which ones are working? Okay, let me scale into those. And the ones that aren't working, just cut them. Forget about them. Even if I am very convicted, even if it's a high probability trade, a really nice setup, I really like it. All the stars are lining up, many variables to the trade are lining up that I like. You got, the moving averages. It's coming up to VWAP reject. It's coming up to resistance. It's got the volume. It's got the fundamental analysis. Everything's lining up. Still cut it. It's not personal. So HOG, just cut it, and I focused on the ones that did work, which was pretty much just NAT. I was also in AMKR at the time, but this one was way too slow. It started going sideways. And one thing I'm looking for when I'm buying the fear on some of these stocks, like AMKR, is for a nice pop on it, for shorts to start covering their position, some longs to start dip buying this thing on up, and to get a little decent pop on it. When it starts going sideways, that's a sign of health, and that's when I'm looking just to cut it, get out of it. So AMKR, I did scale into this winner a little bit, it just wasn't working, just ended up cutting this one, taking it for small profits. NAT was the big winner today, so let's focus NAT. What went right, what went wrong there on NAT? Got the chart pulled up here from today. NAT, what happened here was it had a very fast move this morning from about $8 to $9. And I do want to pull up the chart here from today, look at pre-market. What are we seeing in pre-market? What do we see the last couple days? The last few days, the stock has been getting way overbought. Look at the 10-day chart. Just a week and a half ago, this thing was at 374. So it's really been popping on off and getting a lot of buying momentum coming into it very fast. This thing's 85 RSI. So I'm looking for a short. I'm looking for a short here, especially on a fast pop out of the gate. The faster the move, the weaker the trend is going to be, and especially when yesterday we had a nice climb, the day before that, the day before that. So for a week straight, and then in pre-market here from $7 up to $8, and then a point pop right out of the gate. I'm certainly going to be looking to short into that, because guess what? That's when a lot of these longs are going to be looking to take profits. So you have all of them selling as well, and then I'm looking to short into them. Take the shares that they're selling to me. And then what I do? Why did I long it? What? Well, there was a lot of panic. There was a ton of panic on it. I'm thinking, okay, now shorts are going to start covering their positions, and that's when I'm going to look to start buying some. I mean, it's the same thing every day. I'm buying fear or I'm selling euphoria, whichever one. Buying fear, selling euphoria. If it's not going to work, it's not going to work. And then the times where it does, I'm scaling into those positions. So it's already a high probability setup that I'm taking. These work very frequently. I just have to allow my winners to work for me, work a lot longer. So NAT here, we'll take a look at my trades. These were my two shorts. I scaled into it. My first one was up at the top, scaled into it, and then look how fast I took them. I took one and then took the second one, and I was in this average over 880 for sure. So 30 plus cents a profit. You can't complain there. I was still trying to become comfortable in that uncomfortable spot for me, and it's irrational. It's irrational that I'm uncomfortable when a stock is winning, and then I'm more comfortable when it's losing. For some reason, and that's just, we're all different. We are all different, guys. You just have to understand your own emotions and trade accordingly. But for some reason, in my past, when I'm trading stocks, for some reason, I'm more comfortable being in the red and scaling into it than I am taking profits. I want to take them quick. I see 20 bucks. Oh, I want to pick it up off the floor. It's the same thing with trading. So I have to allow that money to grow. If I want to see profits, get bigger, I got to allow these to work more for me. So I did take those a little bit quick, 30 plus cents. And then these three here were longs, long, and then, I sold into these pops up towards 840s and 50s. So not a problem there. Short and the long of it, NAT. What indicators did I go off of? I simply just went off of emotions. That is fear, that's panic, that's euphoria. Buying this thing on up. I did miss a couple that we did talk about in our pre-market analysis. QTNT, I missed this one. We were going over this one in pre-market for that 1120 pop out of the gates to short into. Ended up getting to about 1050. So let's pull up QTNT. Why were we looking at this in pre-market and going over? Man, this was such a good short, guys. I know some of you got it. So QTNT, what I was looking at here and what we were going over in pre-market, is just taking a look left of the chart. Always looking left of the chart, because what's left? It's past chart history. We always want to get an idea of what the stock is doing in the past. Well, we see clear 1120 resistance in its past chart history. This stock over the last few weeks, very similar to NAT, has gotten a very strong pop on it. A couple bucks up towards $10. So I was looking for a fast move out of the gate as well here, just the same type of setup as NAT. And to short into that. But I was looking for the 1120s. I really didn't want to start it at 1030s with resistance at 1120. I thought it was going to gravitate a little bit more towards that resistance. Didn't end up doing it. This one faded on off. Really nice short there. The other short we were looking at was ARCT. So let me know if any of you guys got these. ARCT. Whew. Same type of story here. I was looking for the pop. I honestly didn't trade this one because the spread was too large on it. That's the ultimate reason. But this one way overbought. So straight off of pre-market, guys. Pre-market stream this morning. Whenever both of these ended up being great shorts. ARCT was just too big of a spread. It was like 50, 60 cents. I didn't want to mess with that. So those were the trades for today, guys. Let me know how you guys did in the comment section below. Hit that like button for me. Hit the subscribe button. We will see you all in the pre-market stream tomorrow.